On today's episode of Mushroom Wonderland, I'm going to be hiking off into a forest fire burn to look for some early season burn morels, see what's coming up first. Come join me on this episode of Mushroom Wonderland. Make sure to hit subscribe. Let's go into the forest fire burn to see if we can find morels.
Welcome to Mushroom Wonderland.
Ooh-wee, this road is super steep. I'm like thinking I'm gonna have to put it in four-wheel drive. All right, I got my modern forager burn maps on and I have my GPS going. I've got my little survival pack, my mesh bag, my knife. Let's go. We're heading off into the wild unknown. Oh, look at this, some mushrooms right as I enter the woods. Beautiful Entaloma holoconeotums. There's 3 of them growing right near each other. Pink spored saprobes. Gorgeous. So these are very hardy compared to the ones that are growing on the Kitsap Peninsula. Really nice Entalomas. Happy to see those just greeting me right as I step on the trail. These are inedible, unknown. People just don't really go after them. Not really of any culinary significance. Sort of rare, sort of small, but these are actually pretty robust ones. But you know, a late winter, early spring kind of mushroom. Entaloma holoconoideum, or the little cone bell. A mushroom growing here, laying here on the trail. Pisapes tubiformis. This one's pretty woody, very funnel shaped, grows off of wood. Looks like somebody picked this off of the wood, so it's kind of an indicator that people have been out here, but it was left behind because it is of no culinary value. It'll stick around forever. Nothing really eats them, including humans, so they can just sit out here and drop spores for days and weeks and months even. That's the power of the Galaxy phone camera. And you can see those pores. Pretty cool. Stalked polypore. Oh, we got some mushrooms growing here. Look at this guy. He's kind of speckled on top. Pull him out, look underneath. Melaleuca. This one, unknown edibility and kind of an unknown mushroom to me. I don't know much about it. I've never heard of anybody wanting these for any culinary value, but one to document for sure. Melaleuca. One of the coolest things about the modern forager maps is I just keep checking it to see if I'm getting close to the edge of the burn, and it's like literally guiding me in real time. Okay, now it's raining good. It's umbrella time. Ain't no shame in my game. I'm not above it, man. You know what I mean? Let's stay comfy out here and have a good time. It sucks when you're cold and soaked. Oh, there it is. That's where the forest fire was. Almost there. These like standing half alive trees. That's really super ultimate morel habitat. All right, I've reached the edge of the burn. And it is steep and rugged and pretty dangerous looking in here. You gotta be really careful out here. Very uneven ground. It's actually really dangerous. And I'm gonna refer to my burn maps and see where they think the greatest morel likelihood is. Look at this. This is a good sign. See these little cups? This is called Geopixus carbonara. So it's a burn cup and they only occur after a burn. So they're a pyrophilic species, just like burn morels, and they're usually a precursor to morels popping up. So, you know, seeing those is a great sign. It might mean I'm a little bit early, but they often are up at the same time. So, hiking on some of these burns that are really steep, not for the faint of heart. Dude, stoked. Look at first ones I've seen today. Look at that, just a couple little guys, but here's what we're looking for, burn morels. That is exciting. They could be Morchella sextillata or septimillata or capitata. You really can't tell the difference between a few of these species of burn morels, except for if you use DNA. And these are definitely going to put us on the board today, finding some morels. How awesome. There they are, young and fresh. What a score. I feel like this is the beginning of a good day. Right there. Nice. It's a good one. Pretty big one right there. Super nice. Now I do like to cut the dirt off before they go into my bag or my basket, just to keep everything clean. You don't want dirty morels. This one actually looks like it's a little bit old, so I thought I might be too early, but I think there's some that are even really mature by now. Let's go. So usually it's easier to pick uphill because you're kind of on the same eye line with things than it is to go downhill, but you can also get lucky that way. Wow, the clouds just parted for a second. Look at this view behind me. This is amazing. I'm kind of zigzagging my way uphill, and I'm gonna try to cover as much ground on this hillside as I can. Look what I found here. Dead soldiers. This is old. That came up like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, look, more. Oh, dude, late to the party. Super old morels right there. These came up like probably a month ago. Pretty dang windy up here, but I'm getting up to where the standing trees still are. That little stand over there looks pretty burned. Every once in a while I'll stop and just scan my surroundings pretty slow and carefully. You know, sometimes this is when you spot them and then you wonder, how many did I pass? This is like straight up dangerous. It's really windy and steep and just like charred and very loose footing. Just on top of this hill is where the burn maps say is the highest likelihood. And this area that I'm in right now is sketchy, but I'm seeing a lot of those burn cups. These are the burn cups that are a good sign of morel habitat. Starting to get a tiny bit nervous, but I think I'm right at the edge of what they predict is best morel probability. All right, you guys, it's super gnarly out here. It is raining hard. We're gonna head down the mountain, maybe find a few more, and start heading back to the truck. This is crazy. Look at that. Here's one. Also looking just a little bit old. Well, maybe not. Oh, look at that. Youngsters, cool. I ran into a few right here. A little bit dirty. I'm going to try to cut the stumps off, make sure they're real clean before they go in my bag. These are pretty low rates as far as morels go, but they're the first succession burn morels. The ones we're really looking for will come out a little bit later, and that one's going to be Morchella exuberans, or the greenies, or the pickles. And then, you know, the gray morels, or Morchella tomentosa. These ones are more prolific and less substantial, but still, they're a morel, you know. They're still good morels, so stoked to find those. It is really hard walking through this stuff. I'm not kidding, man. This is tiring. You always want to check these areas where you see a lot of needles laying on the ground that are orange like that. Those are good spots to check. And then right here is kind of an interesting one. You see these growing on the sticks around here. This one's known as Schizophilum communi, or the split gill, and it's a conch mushroom with gills on it. And this one, actually, you can inhale the spores and it can infect people with poor immune systems, and it's actually killed people. An infection of this fungus will take over in your bloodstream and go into your brain and can actually kill you. People have died from getting infected after the spores of this has germinated in their lungs. I'm checking all these little shrubby areas. These seem to be good spots. Yep, see that? Ooh, that would have snuck right by it. Look at that. Yeah, 2 of them right there. Yeah, so check that out. They're a little bit sandy, but you know, checking around these kind of shrubs that are burned is a good idea, and they'll often be hiding right under the leaves. But you know, good washing on these, and they'll go in the dinner pot. There we go, one little spot. And I just happened to slow down and take a look. They're probably all up in here where all this shrubbery is. These are good spots, man. Not the prettiest one, but definitely gonna taste good in the pan. See that? Nice. Dude, these things are trying to hide, but you can't get away, Mr. Morel. Just for the record, it's hard to pick and film at the same time, so I clean them up after I pluck them. Just want you to see what they look like, fresh out of the ground. That's where I'm finding them all today. So you can often just kind of snap them sideways like that if you don't have a knife with you. After this year, there probably won't be any here. Maybe 1 or 2 strays, but I never have good luck in a second year burn. I hear tale of it being a good idea to go back, but unless it's like right next door or on your way somewhere better, I wouldn't waste too much time on second year burns. Stopped right here. I think I see a big one up there. A couple. But while I'm down here, I'm gonna look closer. Yep, I see more right up there. There's another one. I wouldn't have seen it if I hadn't have stopped and looked around for a second. Look at that. That one's really pretty. Beautiful ridges. I'm gonna definitely take a picture of that. And there's its little buddy right there. Real healthy looking. Those are a great example of a first succession burn morel. All right, that's what it looks like hiking in this burn. I finally made it back to the main trail just about. So I don't know, I got like 15 or 20 mushrooms, which is pretty cool, you know, for just scouting it out. But I'm gonna come back to this burn in a couple weeks. You know, that's kind of how it works. As it warms up, more and more of these morels are gonna flush. So I'm pretty satisfied with my little haul today. And so let's go back and see what we can cook up with the burn morels. Seriously, those burn maps helped me out so much. Like, it was really interesting to see that the burn map was like so accurate. Like, it knew exactly where the burn started. It knew where the moderate burn areas were, and wherever it said was the highest likelihood for morels, I have no doubt that in a week or maybe 2, it's gonna be crazy right there. I've been a mixture of wet from rain and wet from sweat all day long. Found my brushy trail back to the car. I am so wet. I am completely soaked right now. All right, I see the car. All right, got back with the morels. I'm gonna go ahead and just give these a good rinse. They are pretty dirty and sandy, so, you know, they're not like boletes, you know, they can handle getting wet. They're not gonna soak up water like some other mushrooms might. They kind of loosen up and drop some of their sand too if they're kind of dirty. I'm gonna cook these morels up pretty simply. I'm just gonna make like a butter and green onion sauce, and we're gonna serve them on some toasted sourdough bread. With mushrooms like this, I really just like a minimalist approach. So we're just gonna saute these, make them really buttery and delicious, and serve them on crunchy toast. I'm gonna take out some of these choice ones, and we're gonna dry them off on some paper towels. You can cut them in half or leave them whole if you want. I like them just a little bit chopped up into nice bite-sized pieces. Put a little light olive oil in the pan, and in go the morels. That is some hot oil. I'm going to turn that down a little. We're going to cook these on like medium heat for about 5 or 6 minutes. Most of this is water that's coming out of them, so just a little bit of olive oil to get them started, and then they're going to dry saute all of this water off. I got some really nice sourdough that I'm going to toast. I'm going to very thinly slice some green onion. I'm going to go ahead and add in this little bit of green onions. I'm going to add in a nice dollop of butter. I've got the heat pretty low because I don't want to brown the butter. I'm just making a nice butter sauce with these green onions and sauteed morels. See that nice color on the morels? Yeah, they're getting really nice and caramelized. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and these should be ready. Soaked up all that butter. All right, I got my crusty sourdough bread, and I've got my buttery. So good. Oh my gosh. It's hard to explain exactly what that flavor is. Whew, they're hot. Bon appetit. So after like 3.5 hours of driving, 4 miles of hiking around on treacherous terrain, getting soaking wet, is it worth it for like one toast worth of morel mushrooms for all of that work today? The answer is absolutely yes. It was an amazing day. I had such a cool day, and I know that the season is about to pop off big time, so I'm totally enjoying my early burn morels. Looking forward to a lot more morel hunting this spring. So good. I couldn't be happier with the way that today turned out. Until the next episode, much love everyone. Peace out.